Shalom, call all Yahweh Shem Shah. Shalom to the elect. And this video right here just shows how the house of Esau is falling. And I'm just let this play and I'm gonna pull some scriptures.
And then there are those who are being paid to work in the government, who scoff at those who want things reopened without realizing what it's like to suddenly go without a job and be worried about being able to feed your family. So it really is about compassion and comprehension, right? But then there's this. The Vice President of the United States did this. He went to a hospital that's treating patients for COVID-19 and healthcare workers. He did not wear a mask. He was told to wear a mask. The staff was told that he should wear a mask. He said no. No one asked why. He says he's positive that he doesn't have the virus because he's checked routinely. As you might imagine, everybody's talking about this. And I want to bring in Larry King. I mean, Larry probably got a lot to say about something like this. He watches those politics, obviously. He's a student of it, and he's been watching this situation. What's there with you about this guy?
It was ridiculous for him not to wear a mask. The only guess I can have is that he's afraid, fearful that Trump would not like it. Because Trump, is this kind of a macho government we have, and it would look bad for him to wear a mask. But it was a terrible example to set for people. When you're telling people to wear a mask and your vice president does not wear a mask, you touch elbows, that's fine. In fact, someone told me that it's more important when you're going into a building for you to wear a mask than the person in the building, because you will carry the virus into the building. So for him not to wear a mask is, and his reasoning that he gets checked every so often was poor. I don't know how. I have no idea. Do you have an idea why he did not wear a mask?
Hey, the reason why he ain't wearing no damn mask, because they know it's a fucking hoax. That's why. So let me go to this one scripture I was going to pull up. I was going to get that one, now I'll go to another one. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 15. It says, "The simple believe of every word, but a prudent man looketh well to his going." And simple ass niggas and shit, and Edomites, they hear anything from the government, they don't research or look into none of the stuff. They believe it. They tell them, "Oh, don't go outside. It's gonna be raining bullets or some dumb silly shit." They gonna believe that shit. They tell them it's gonna be raining acid from the sky. Don't go outside. They gonna believe it. They tell them it's a virus spreading around. They gonna go listen to them and be like, "Oh, well, hey, we gotta wear this mask." And you see people, they so simple. They be, how you ride in the car with a goddamn mask on? How you gonna catch it in the car? Well, that's how simple people be. But the powers that be, they ain't walking around with no mask. I guarantee you don't see Jacob Rothschild and Evelyn and them and David. They ass don't be wearing no damn mask. And that's why he ain't wearing one, I should say. That's why I say right in the scripture, say the simple believe of every word, but a prudent man looketh well to his going. And if you look into this whole scenario, the thing that's really killing people is because their immune system is being weakened by the radiation that they putting out with these damn 5G towers and other stuff that they're putting out in the water, also in the air. And then if you're not taking care of your health, because most people don't take care of their health, they eat hella fast food, got an unbalanced diet, acidic diet on top of that. That's a perfect recipe for disaster. And that's why people really be dropping dead. It ain't because of no damn corona. I'm gonna let this play some more.
Well, his explanation is exactly as I said. He said, "I am checked routinely, and I am very confident that I do not have it. Therefore, I do not have to worry about giving it to anywhere else." But mind you, this is important, I think, as well, because this plays, it's always important in our business to talk about who the person is, right? He is the head of our nation's coronavirus task force.
It's almost laughable. You couldn't do this as a joke. It's incredible to me. I can't. More things happen in this government weekly and daily that are impossible to comprehend, and this is one of them. For the vice president not to wear a mask in that situation at the Mayo Clinic, where everybody else is wearing a mask, is no other word for it is absurd.
Yeah, apparently it's caused a lot of doubt from people there at the hospital and other healthcare workers who are up in arms about this. They're very upset. He feels like he's putting them who are working at the hospital in a difficult situation. The only, the one thing I do want to address is the economic side. I do understand, and I know this is where Trump and Pence are going, that it's really important we open up the economy. At some point, we got to step away from this stuff. And there are people out there who are suffering because of this who don't have jobs. And I don't want to sit here, because I do have a job, and not understand those people's plight, right? You get that. You're a kid who grew up in Brooklyn.
Of course, but that's still not an excuse for not wearing a mask.
Right.
We all know, certainly I agree with you, everyone is in this boat, and some of us are fortunate enough to be paid. And those of us who are not, it's easy to sit back in the comfort of our homes or whatever and to set up cameras and be able to work. It's a sad situation, but when the government, when the head of your task force doesn't comply with the request of the people in the Mayo Clinic, no excuse. No, can you figure an excuse? Give me an excuse.
And like I say, man, the only excuse is because they know the truth behind the shit. But I ain't gonna let this play no more. I'm just going to some scriptures and bring this stuff up. I just want to make this video because I happen to see this pop up in the news feed, and I want to bring out some edifying points. Now, in the book of Luke, chapter 11, verse 14, it says, "And he was casting out a devil, and it was dumb. And it came to pass, when the devil was going out, the dumb spake. And the people wondered," talking about Yahweh Shai, and he was casting out them spirits. It says, "But some of them said, he casteth out devils through Beelzebub, the chief of the devils. And others tempting him, sought of him a sign from heaven. But he, knowing their thoughts, said unto him, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth. If Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand?" And that's who run America ultimately. When they go hold these Bilderberg meetings and do all this little stuff and these little hand symbols and all that, they give an allegiance to Shaitan. That's who they give allegiance to. They ain't think about no Yahweh Bashim Shah. They think about Shaitan, not even realizing Shaitan worked for Yahweh. So they just bugged out all the way around anyway. Well, let me see what else I want to get into. Show me some more precepts on the side of it. It's in the book of Matthew, which is just backing up this. Also, it's just another precept, Matthew chapter 12, verse 25. It says, "And Yahweh Shai knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. Every city or house divided against itself should not stand." That's what you got going on right now. You got these governors divided against the other politicians, lower level politicians, whether it be the mayor, the judges, and different stuff like that. You got the senators against the vice president and the president. So everything being divided right now. And that's why you see this society crumbling day by day. Even though they talking about opening shit up and giving out money and all that, that ain't gonna heal Babylon. Babylon ain't getting healed. Now let me go into something else real quick. And simultaneously, while the house of Esau falls, you got the house of David being risen up. It's in the book of Amos, chapter 9. Let me see. I'll go back when it started exactly. Okay, this is where I'm gonna start at. And I'm gonna just read through this, and I'll probably get go on to one more chapter, I should say, and then I'll just end this off. This is the book of Amos. I'm started in chapter 9, verse 1. It says, I saw the Lord Yahweh stand upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door, and the post may shake. This is Lockett. It's talking about the Lord, talking about Yahweh Shah at that moment. It says, and cut them in the hand, and all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. Because these elites, people like Pence and Trump and them, they gonna flee away, but they ain't gonna escape the sword though. And it says they escapeth, but they ain't gonna be delivered. So whenever they try to go to their bunkers, underwater cities, over these little space stations and shit, it ain't gonna work, man. And that's the last place you want to go anyway, up in space. When you got Yahweh Shai, the angels coming right through space. That's how stupid they are. But it says, verse 2, though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. And when it's talking about hell, for the people that still believe in that hell doctrine, they ain't talking about down what Satan sitting at and poking people with a trident. Because that was a myth that was made up. The scriptures clearly tell you that all the spirits of men go upward, but the spirit of beasts return to the earth. But anyway, it says, then shall my hand take them, though they climb up to heaven, just will I bring them down. In verse 3, it says, and though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, this will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. Because they got ships and submarines and shit like that to go down there too as well. And they plan on hiding out. But there's creatures down there that's bigger than whales that'll sink them submarines and ships. And they know about it because they have it documented, seeing stuff on the radar popping up and then disappearing, that's moving quicker than any other clocked animal, and measure at a vast amount that's bigger than any whale or anything else down there. Well, anyway, in verse 4 it says, and though they go into captivity before their enemies, just will I command the sword, and it shall slay them, and I will set my eyes upon them for evil and not for good. In verse 5, it says, and the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, shall see that touches the land, and it shall melt, and all that dwell therein shall mourn, and it shall rise up wholly like a flood, and shall be drowned. That's by the flood of Egypt. Verse 6, it says, it is he that buildeth his stores in the heaven, and hath founded his troop in the earth. He that calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. Yahweh is his name, but you got to know the name, which is key. And the Most High now don't give his name to everybody. Just like how you meet certain people, and they be asking your name, you like, don't worry about what my name is, try to give them your nickname or something like that. And what more the Most High? Think he gonna give everybody his name? But his name is gonna be made manifest and magnified throughout the whole earth, like the scripture says. In verse 7 it says, are ye not as children of Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel? Said the Lord Yahweh, have not I brought up Israel out of the land of Egypt, and the Philistines from Keptor, and the Syrians from Ker? Said, behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it off the face of the earth. And he said he's going to destroy the whole earth, which a lot of people think when they hear the end of the world, they think about the whole earth being destroyed. But that's not going to happen. And it says, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord Yahweh, for lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, because our people scattered among all nations. You got some people that look Chinese, they actually come from Israel. You got some people that look Russian, they actually come from Israel. You got some people that look Ethiopian, actually come from Israel. You got some people that look like them stinking Amalekites, they actually come from Israel. You got some people that look Hawaiian, they actually come from Israel. You got some people that look like them stinking Hamites, they actually come from Israel. You got some people that look like Arabs, they come from Israel. You got some people that look like Indonesians, they come from Israel. And so on and so on. I can go down the list. But it says, hey, and to top it off, you got some people that look like us, but they don't come from us. That's the funny thing about it. That's how the Most High got it set up. It says, like as corn is sifted in a sheaf, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. It said, all the sons of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. And that's the main point I want to get back to. It says in verse 11, Amos 9:11, it says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom, which is talking about slavery. And it says, and all of the heathen which are called by my name, says the Lord Yahweh that doeth this. Because it ain't going to be us doing it on our own will. The Most High going to bring these devils down just like he's doing now. Got them divided against each other, fighting each other. Eventually they're going to shoot nukes on each other and wipe each other out. And in the midst of that, Yahweh going to send Yahweh Shah back with the angels to deliver the elect. And in the book of Revelation, it mentions New Jerusalem descending down. That New Jerusalem is talking about the house of David. Talking about the elect, the saints. That's why that song said, when the saints go marching in, or how I like to build that number, when the saints go marching in, they ain't finna come give out flowers and shit. The scriptures say the saints should take the kingdom and possess it forever and ever. I'm going to read on some more. It says in verse 13, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of the grapes, him that soweth seed, and the mountain shall drop sweet wine, and all his hills shall melt. And I will bring again the captivity of my people, because whether people see it or not, we still in fucking captivity, even though we get money and travel and do other little bullshit. Esau ain't gonna let you get but so far. And it says, and they shall build waste cities and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them. And I will plant them upon their land. That don't mean we got to get a passport and go over to Israel right now. It's talking about the deliverance. The Most High gonna put us over using Yahweh Shai and the angels. And it says, and they shall no more be poured out of their land, which I have given them, saith the Lord in thy power. Let me read on some more. Now, I said I was going to pull one more, but I just want to bring this out now for edification's sake, because it's done popped in my mind. Now, back in verse 12, when it said that they may possess the remnant of Edom and all the heathen, it was a time where these heathen, they was in slavery under us. They don't talk about that part of history, even like during the Dark Ages. They're going to, they try to make it seem like they was the only one that was taskmasters and slave masters and stuff like that. No. Let me go into this right here. It's in the book of First Chronicles, chapter 18. I'm gonna start at verse 5 though. But yeah, I'm gonna just read on down through verse 5. This is what I want to get into. Now it says in verse 1, now after this it came to pass that David smote the Philistines. That's why when people you ever go around these so-called Africans, which are actually Hamites or Philistines or Canaanites and so on, they give us this little look because they know where we come from in that little story about, oh, your own people sold you into slavery. No, that's not accurate. The people that helped round us up and point us out was these Philistines, these Hamites. They look like us, but they wasn't us. Even though we do have people scattered amongst them, because people intermarry and stuff like that. It says, and subdued them, and took Goth and her towns out of the hand of the Philistines. He smote Moab, and the Moabites became David's servants and brought gifts. And them Chinese people, it's going to happen again. That's who Moab is, the forefather of the so-called Chinese people. They're going to be bringing gifts and all type of little shit. And it says in verse 3, and David smote Hadazar, which I might be saying that wrong. Yeah, I'm saying it wrong. Hadarezer, king of Zobah, unto Hamath, as he went to establish his dominion by the river Euphrates. And David took from him 1,000 chariots and 7,000 horsemen and 20,000 footmen. David also hooved all the chariot horses, were reserved of them 100 chariots. And when the Syrians of Damascus came to help Hadarezer, king of Zobah, David slew of the Syrians 220,000 men. Then David put garrisons in Syria, Damascus, and the Syrians became David's servants and brought gifts. And the Most High, he gonna do this again for us, but we ain't gonna have to bring them down. He gonna bring them down for us, and they gonna do the same thing again, bring these gifts They gonna offer up their goods, their best of the best crops, their best gold, the best woods, the best tools, jewels, all that, man. Just because who we are, because the promise that the Most High gave us. And you got niggas that don't want that. Oh, everybody that's get along. Like, no, man, hell no, that's stupid. Well, in verse 7 it says, and David took the shields of gold that were on the servants of Hadarezer and brought them to Jerusalem. Likewise, from Tobath and from Kun, cities of Hadarezer, brought David very much brass, wherewith Solomon made the brazen sea and the pillars and the vessels of brass. And this same thing gonna happen again, man. I'm gonna read on some more. It says in verse 9, now when To, king of Hamath, heard how David had smitten all the hosts of Hadarezer out of Zobah, king of Zobah, he sent Hadaram, his son, to King David to inquire of his welfare. Cause they was spooked. They out here slaying thousands of men, and they weren't using no big armies, like how people think that they'd take a whole squadron of somebody to wipe out a gang of people. Most High put a spirit on certain men, like the scriptures say, one should chase 1,000, and one man can do that. People might find it far fetched, but the Most High put a spirit on certain men, like how Samson had the spirit on him. One man can kill 1,000 men by his damn self. They don't take no whole squadron. Just like you read the book of Maccabees and talk about Judas of Maccabees. Same thing was going on back then. And in these times coming now, these Edomites, they know what's going to come. So they got super soldiers set up for that. And they getting wiped out too. I'm reading on some more. It says, back where I was at, say to inquire of his welfare and to congratulate him because he had fought against Hadarezer and smitten him. For Hadarezer had war with two, and with him all manner of vessels of gold and silver and brass. So he brought all this stuff on and congratulated him. It says, them also King David dedicated to the Lord Yahweh, because really you're supposed to do that. That's why you got a priest set up and stuff. Whatever goods you get, that's how you pay your tithes and stuff. Not listening to Pastor Pochop is passing around that little plate and taking your money and doing who knows what with it. But anyway, it says, with the silver, the gold that he had brought from all these nations, from Edom and from Moab, and from the children of Ammon, which are talking about the Japanese, because they getting locked up too. They had a hand in all this stuff. And from the Philistines and from Amalek, which is the chief house, well, one of the chief houses, I should say, of Esau, the Amalekites. That's why you always hear people talking about kites. That's who that's talking about, Amalekites. Now, verse 12 it says, moreover, Abishai, I should say, the son of Zeruiah, slew of the Edomites in the valley of Salt 18,000. This one son right here. It says, and he put garrisons in Edom, and all the Edomites became David's servants. Because you had the guys that was part of the mighty men of David. They was getting busy too. It wasn't just David by himself. It says, thus the Lord Yahweh preserved David wheresoever he went. And that's why certain men, you be wondering, like, dang, why stuff don't happen to him like that? Why would somebody try to do something to him? This happens to them instead of something bad happening to him. That's because the Most High preserved him, and he really got a hand in their life like that. It really be like that. No, I'm going to read this real quick and then go into something else. I'm going to end this off. It's in the book of Zechariah, chapter 12. Let's see where I'm going to start at. It's chapter 12, verse 7. It says, the Lord Yahweh also shall save the tents of Judah first. That's the top tribe. It says that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as an angel of the Lord Yahweh before them. And it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. And that's what's going to happen, man. Like I said, these Edomites, they know about this. That's why they ain't building no super soldiers for no average niggas. Like, come on. They don't even need all that. They could just bring out some of the average weaponry and do what they do. They got those super strength soldiers that can leap over walls and see through walls and use super strength and punch through walls and all whatever other little madness they got created. Super speed, they can run super fast and all that. They got that for the house of David. I'm gonna just end this off with this last scripture. It's in the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 18. It says, "But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever." And that's what's going to happen. And when you read the book of Revelation, it also goes to how, let me see, if they got the precept over here on the side, I'm going to just go ahead and grab it real quick. Even though I know I said I was going to end that off, but keep breaking this stuff up. Yeah, let me go ahead and get that just for edification's sake. I'm going to talk about the saints taking the kingdom. You read the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 2. It says, "And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Yahweh out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband." And that's why all these UFOs been popping up too, because that's how the saints are going to come out. That's going to be some real raw, high-level shit. You see the saints coming out of ships made out of gold and crystals and different other gemstones and just pure light and stuff like that. And these nations, they're going to be shook up because they're going to be able to see it too. The ones that end up not getting hit by them nukes and all that destruction. Let me read on some more. And it said in verse 3, "And I heard a great voice," and this for you, it's for the beta male niggas and the women that want to try to have authority over the men and all that stuff like that. The Most High gonna set that back in order too, and all that bullshit. That's some stuff Esau had push out. But anyway, it says, "And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And Yahweh himself shall be with them, and be their power. And Yahweh shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away." And that's what's going to happen, man. And it's going to be order. You're going to have the Most High. You're going to have Yahweh Shai. You're going to have King David ruling on the earth. And you're going to have the elect, the saints up under. It's going to be order. And the women going to be in order too. Ain't going to be no women over no man. No woman trying to bring out precepts and cut a man with the scriptures on. Ain't going to be none of that dumb shit. Everything going to be set back in order and made new. And like in verse 5 it says, "And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new." And that's what's going to happen. I just want to bring this out, man. Esau house falling, the house of David rising. The Lord's witness is edifying. Call all y'all by Shalom to the left.